Let's now go to goiter. Under thyroid problems, let's discuss pathology. In goiter, Chinese pathology is essentially concerned only with the manifestation rather than the root of goiter, that is, qi stagnation, blood stasis, and phlegm. The root is usually a deficiency of qi, yang, or yin. In hypothyroidism, the root is usually a yang deficiency, and in hyperthyroidism, fire. There is no direct correspondence between the Chinese disease symptom of goiter and thyroid problems in Western medicine. Hence, Chinese medicine discusses only goiter, while Western medicine discusses many thyroid dysfunctions such as hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, and Hashimoto's thyroiditis. Each of these biomedical diseases can manifest with or without goiter. Therefore, Chinese medicine does not really have a theory of thyroid problems without goiter, and these must simply be treated according to the normal identification of patterns. For example, if without goiter, hypothyroidism may correspond to exhaustion or edema in Chinese medicine, while hyperthyroidism may correspond to palpitations and anxiety or tremors. As Chinese medicine focuses only and entirely on goiter, its pathology and treatment are focused on the treatment of masses, that is, it stresses the treatment methods of dissolving masses, dissolving nodules, and softening hardness. The treatment principles must therefore be adapted when there are thyroid problems without goiter. In such cases, it is not necessary to resolve phlegm unless there are phlegm symptoms, soften masses, or dissolve masses. Ancient doctors differentiated between internal and external treatment. Internal treatment consisted of the administration of seaweeds to provide iodine and of thyroid glands of sheep, deer, pig, or lamb. External treatment consisted of herbal treatment and acupuncture and, of course, surgery. The use of seaweeds is interesting because they were given without knowing about iodine. But ancient doctors perceived that there was something missing in the water of mountainous regions that could be supplemented by seaweeds. They were also given for their action of softening masses. In this respect, they are given for any type of mass, not just goiter. The pathology of goiter boils down to three main factors in order of appearance and severity. First, qi stagnation. Lump goes up and down according to emotional problems. Next is phlegm. A lump is relatively soft and large and does not go up and down. Third, the blood stasis. The lump is relatively hard, fixed, and probably painful. Other pathologies may be involved. First of all, liver fire may develop from liver qi stagnation. Liver fire, in turn, contributes to phlegm as fire dries up and condenses body fluids into phlegm. Second, liver fire may, in time, injure yin and lead to liver yin deficiency, which may appear in very long-standing cases in older women. In its very beginning stage, goiter is not dissimilar to the plum stone syndrome, which is due not only to liver qi stagnation but also lung qi stagnation in the throat from emotional problems, for which the formula Ban Xia Hopong Quinella magnolia decoction is used. Here we can see the pathology of goiter. Thank you for your attention.